Welcome to Football Scientific. I'm Aaron Sauter, writer for FootballAnalysisOne.com, CFLNewsHub.com, and UFLNewsHub.com, where I write articles about professional football. Boom! A few breakthroughs this week. First, I got my power rankings from the NFL on Football Analysis. When they come check that out, that's not really a breakthrough. That's just what I do every week. But on CFLNewsHub.com, 2 days ago, I wrote an article about Hamilton Tiger Cats extending quarterback Bo Levi Mitchell for 2 years. And guess what, man? My article made it big and made it on Google News. My editor hit me back with an image showing that I made it on Google News. And that is a big breakthrough. So now I've been doing this CFL writing thing for roughly 4 years. And you think, well, you're just writing. You never know if anyone's really noticing. And then boom, you get a big breakthrough. That's probably what's going to happen here at Football Scientific, I suspect, too. So I'm just been grinding, and boom. Little known fact, did you know that YouTube will sell you likes and friends for a fee? So you pay a fee like $50 a day, and then you'll get likes for your videos. That's cheap, man. That's crazy. Who's going to do that? People who are fake are going to do that. I'm not fake. Mental note. If you like real commentary, if you like real football analysis, if you want to have a chance to have input on a show or want me to analyze something I'm not checking out, let me know, man. This is the real deal. I got 175 subscribers right now. But, I mean, that's more than what I had before. I started this thing with like 2. So now I got 175. We're going to blow this thing up, man. This is real content. This is the real deal. I enjoyed my guest host today, Tyler the Tiger. Tyler the Tiger here, ready to go. Fired up, ready to hit this thing and break down. What are we breaking down? What are we breaking down? Oh, we're going to go through the roster changes and injury reports and things of that nature for NFL Week 15 games tomorrow. Full slate of games on Sunday. Our predictions will come out tomorrow in the pregame show. And then also we have our CFL roster movements. Okay, so it's just a clean it up show. Like we're just going to go through some basics and roster moves and stuff. It's going to be pretty quick. Yeah, it's going to be pretty quick, pretty much. This is brought to you by W Energy. Be better. Be better. Be better with W Energy. Get 10% off with our promo code for W Energy products. Go to WEnergy.com and click on it and order your products and put our promo code Football Scientific, all caps, no space, get 10% off. And we get money too. And then we're all rolling in cash together. Woo, woo. Well, you get energy drink. Sorry. Woo, woo, woo. Let's break it down. All right, let's break it down, Tyler. Here we go. So first, some roster moves the last few days. I kind of caught up in writing things the last few days. So the writing takes over for the video because I get paid for the writing, man. I don't get paid for the videos yet. But we're going to get a breakthrough sometime on that. But I do get paid for the writing, so that always takes precedent. Las Vegas Raiders quarterback Geno Smith. Hey, he's not ready to play this week because of a back injury. So that means interesting situation. Now, remember in offseason, the Raiders traded for Kenny Pickett, okay, from the Browns. He was with the Browns. Browns signed him. They traded him there because they already had 5 quarterbacks. But he had previously played for the Eagles. And this week, Kenny Pickett's first start for the Raiders. He's going to play against the Eagles. So that's pretty fun. Boom, the Eagles are still going to be without defensive lineman Jalen Carter and off tackle Lane Johnson. They're still out. Now, they got beat by the Chargers last time. They get beat by the Raiders, man. They're on a losing streak right now. And they get beat by the Raiders. Man, Cowboys are going to the playoffs. That's sad. All right, an interesting story out of Pittsburgh. Defensive end T.J. Watt, I guess on Thursday, getting treatments and stuff with the training staff. He got a needling procedure done. And boom, something bad happened with that needling. Someone didn't do it right. Punctured his left lung, man. And now today he had surgery to get that repaired. So, I mean, their own friendly fire, their training staff for the Pittsburgh Steelers took out T.J. Watt. And that, that's crazy, man. That might be the reason the Dolphins win this game, is because the training staff stabbed T.J. Watt in the lung and collapsed his lung with a needling. And so much for recovery. But I'm never getting that needling thing done, man. I don't want to get that. Cleveland Browns, cupping. That's where it's at. Cupping. I don't get that done either. Cleveland Browns, tight end David Njoku and running back Dylan Sampson are both out. Okay. As the Browns, they'll probably lose. They lost to the Titans last week. It's in their advantage to lose, man. This thing's a race to the bottom for Titans, Browns, and New York Giants. But some of these don't get it, man. I think the Tennessee Titans don't get it. But maybe they're just being ethical. That's usually not the case in the NFL. All right, Indianapolis Colts. In case you didn't know, you're living under a rock. Earlier this week, they signed quarterback Phillip Rivers, who retired in 2020 from the Colts, back before his insurance ran out. With the NFL, you get 5 years of insurance after you retire. It was about to run out. That's why he came back. He said he came back to help Shane Steichen. But man, he has like all those kids, and he decided, I got to keep this insurance, bro. I'll get 5 more years if I come back for one game. I predict that's what's going to happen. He's going to come back for one game. The Seahawks are going to lay the smackdown on him. He's going to leave that game injured and never be seen again. Well, yes, unless he's in the Hall of Fame, which that gets reset too because of this one game. Okay? Boom. But people are excited. I heard some kids arguing about who are going to start Phillip Rivers in their fantasy team. That would be real dumb. All right. I mean, unless you don't want to win. Whatever. All right, Miami Dolphins running back Devon Achane is expecting to play versus the Steelers. He's going to be back. Okay, that's a big game for the Dolphins, man. They beat the Steelers. They're in this playoff hunt. Okay, they lose to the Steelers. They're going to get real sketchy here. They're probably not going to make it. Probably not enough games left to make it the difference. They lose the Steelers. This is basically a playoff game for the Dolphins. Kind of for the Steelers, too, because the Steelers lose this game. And then the Ravens beat the Bengals, which I hope doesn't happen, but definitely could. It's not without outside the realm of reality. I would put the Ravens and Steelers back to being tied at the top of the AFC North. So this is essentially a playoff game for both Miami and the Steelers. Monday Night Football should be an exciting game. Achane's going to come back for that. Indianapolis Colts, a quick review of what they've done this week. They signed Phillip Rivers. He's on their active roster. He is officially going to be the starting quarterback in Seattle. They have placed offensive tackle Brandon Smith on the IR, and they elevated wide receiver Coleman Owen and defensive tackle Chris Wormsley for the practice squad. So they're just making some roster moves, trying to get off this losing streak they've been on. It's going to be hard, man, because Seattle's a tough place to play, and they're beat up. No quarterback. Phillip Rivers, sorry. LA Rams, they activated wide receiver Tutu Atwell off the IR. Okay. New York Jets placed quarterback Azariah Thomas on the IR and activated linebacker Cam Jones and elevated quarterback Adrian Martinez and defense back Trey Brown. Now, this will be a fun one, man. Adrian Martinez hasn't played football since, winning a UFL championship with the Birmingham Stallions. He got signed by the Jets. He got released by the Jets. He got sent to San Francisco, all on the practice squad. He got released by the 49ers. Then he gets signed by the Jets this week, and now they're going to put him on the active roster. He should start him. You're so bad in New York with quarterbacks. Just start Adrian Martinez. See if he wins the game. If he wins the game, he might stick. Okay, Baltimore Ravens activated safety Ardarius Washington and outside linebacker Tavius Robinson. Okay. All right. Indianapolis Colts quarterback Daniel Jones, boom, got his surgery done today in New York City. He got his Achilles tendon repair. I got a tendon repair done just recently. I'm supposed to be able to do things again in 6 months is what they said. Without the brace. So they're saying he's going to get back in 6 to 8 months with the Achilles. That's about right, man. That's about right. And he's older. He's not older. I'm older. But he's not as old, so probably 6 months to be back. Colts are hoping he'll be clear by training camp, which is likely, I'd say. New England Patriots signed running back Dearness Johnson to their active roster. And they placed running back Terrell Jennings on the injured reserve. This is why they've signed Ernest Johnson. That's hard to say that name. All right, I got one more. I think I got some more stuff. Hey, San Francisco 49ers finally got tired of arguing with Brandon Ayuk. He left the team. He's not on the reserve, left the team list. That means he left the team. He's done for the season because of that. They don't know if he's going to resign. I would not suspect so. They don't really need him anyway, man. Not really. Denver Broncos promoted inside linebacker Jordan Turner to the active roster. They elevated wide receiver Michael Bandy, I guess, and quarterback Sam Ellenberg to the practice squad, and they from the practice squad to the active roster, and they signed tight end Mercedes Lewis during the week after he got waived, so they added him. They got another tight end. I was pretty sure played for Broncos somewhere in there. All right, boom. CFL signings. BC Lions. They signed national fullback Ryder Robertson or something. They signed global kicker Mark McClure. Winnipeg Blue Bombers signed American defensive Cameron McCutcheon. Boom. Montreal Alouettes released American linebacker Darnell Sankey. I hope if Tiger Cats pick up with Sankey's pretty good, man. He decided he was tired of playing in Montreal. He should come to the Hamilton. Let's go win the East and go win a Grey Cup, Darnell Sankey. But don't overpay that guy, man. He's old. Don't overpay him. Boom. Toronto Argonauts signed national. I mean, we're just going to keep Devin Teresic, I hope. Unless he got signed by the Texans. I didn't see that. I don't think he did. This guy, they gave him a workout. Keep him motivated, Toronto Argonauts signed national long snapper Adam Guillemette, and they signed American offensive line Desmond Bland. That's a Bland argument. And then, like I said, Hamilton Tiger Cats, late on Thursday, I believe, they had re-signed quarterback Bo Levi Mitchell for a 2-year extension. He decided not to retire. He's going to do 2 more years with the Tiger Cats. I had a full article of that on CFL News Up. As I mentioned, that article then got elevated to Google News. Hopefully, I'm getting paid a lot more for that, man. I'm gonna keep shooting to get on Google News. Now, I've been writing for other places, and everything's a learning process. I'm going to talk about this for a minute. You don't become good at things overnight. And like I said, I've been sports writing for the CFL for about 4 years here, okay? And I've gotten a lot better. I believe I've really developed as a writer. I wasn't a writer before. I was just a teacher, I do have a lot of writing experience from, I got, several degrees. And it took a lot of writing experience to get, especially in education classes, for my master's degree. But, I wasn't a writer per se, and I really had to learn a lot. I made my share of mistakes, and now I'm writing for the NFL and the CFL and the UFL and, whatever. I tried to do my own thing on Substack because I heard you could blow that up, but no one was interested. But I bet it's a lot like this YouTube thing. You just got to stick with it. 4 years in, CFL News Hub, I gave one that goes Google News. That's huge, man. And the reason I knew how to do that was because I knew how to write my correct headline from Last Word on Sports, who I no longer write for. They gave us like a quick little thing, a cheat sheet of how to get published on Google News. And I actually got one on there. Boom. But now I write for footballanalysis1.com because Last Word on Sports didn't pay me. Whatever. Okay, whatever. All right. Boom. UFL. Interesting thing. Remember a few months ago, Mike Rapole, the UFL, canned all the general managers. Then they named Doug Whaley and Ross Giglio to run the player personnel department. Well, now they've made some moves recently, yesterday, according to James Larson, UFL insider. I'd like to see how I become an insider. I'd love to do an insider. But Patrick Austin, who used to be the XFL director of player personnel or whatever, is now the manager of player personnel in the UFL. And then 3 general managers that were set free: Jim Monos from the Memphis Showboats, Rick Mueller from the Arlington Renegades, or now Dallas Renegades, and Will Lewis from the Houston Roughnecks are all coming back to be regional scouts. So there'll be 4 regional scouts in the player personnel department, and they're going to be those general managers, so now they're regional scouts, okay? The thing I saw about that, though, why all these crappy teams get their general managers back? You know what I'm saying? I don't know why they did that. I think because they're the ones without secrets. Like Mark Lillibridge would be telling everyone, hey, man, they told me to tank. They told me to tank the San Antonio Brahmas because y'all upset the St. Louis Battlehawks in that first year of the UFL, and that made everyone angry, man. It made them all angry. We lost 25 nuts in the championship game, and it made everyone so angry they tanked us the next year on purpose. I'm not saying it's scripted, but why did all your coaches quit if it's not scripted? If you weren't doing it on purpose. Mark Lillibridge is a real slimy guy in my eyes, okay? I'm glad he's not in this thing. But I would say with the central, I think it's going to improve the UFL to have that central player personnel department because, I mean, if they're not competing against each other, then who cares who wins the league, right? It should be wide open. It should be fair. And I think that would be fun. And I think Orlando Storm would win the UFL championship. Probably not this year, but maybe one year. I don't know who their players are. Who cares, right? It doesn't matter. It's December. In January, we'll find out like what team became Orlando Storm and who's going to be the coach. And figure out, are they going to be any good? I don't know. I just picked them. I didn't even really pick them. I picked Louisville King, but someone picked it for me, and they said, you can cover the Storm. And I was like, sweet. Okay. Well, I think they used to be at Brahmins, and I got a hat for the Brahmins, but, I don't have one for the Storm. All right. I also got a new flavor drop from W. Just now sitting here making the video. W Energy, man. They're our sponsor. They haven't paid me any money yet either, because you got to buy W. Here's how this thing works. You got to buy W Energy. You do. Use my promo code, Football Scientific, and then you get W Energy, which is a great product, man. Great product. And if you want to play video games all night or watch film or whatever, then W Energy is the thing to do. And if you do the math, I did the math last week. If you buy a 30-pack of Monsters, okay, you're paying roughly 30-pack of Monsters, $48, okay? 30-pack of Monsters. And then W Energy, one canister is 30 drinks worth, and you pay roughly, $30. That's huge. That's huge. 10% off that. That's even more huge. And now you're saving a ton of money. It's just powdered drinks, so you got to mix it. But I mean, who's against mixing powder? It's like Kool-Aid, man. Kool-Aid with caffeine. It also got hydro to hydrate you. I'm gonna have some on the show here in a little bit, probably not today, not tomorrow, but sometime. Okay, so we do have some free products coming from W, and we're gonna try those out on the show. The free W products that they want me to try. Okay, so that's going down. Hopefully we can get some money on that sometime, but if we don't, the writing is where the money's at, really. So keep it going. Check out those articles on footballanalysis1.com. Check out CFLnewshub.com. Check out Google News. Find our article on there. Check out UFLnewshub.com. Check out TikTok, man. We're on TikTok now. We're taking over TikTok. Those videos are going to be different, man. They have a different format. I think it's going to be cool. We're slowly growing. We're up to 5 followers there. That started the same way here on YouTube, man. Now we're 175. I suspect in the future, I don't buy likes. I'm not that guy. We're punk rock, man. We're like no effects. My heroes are no effects, okay? And we're not going to buy your likes. We're going to grind. No effects probably had to grind for 5-6 years playing 5 people at their shows and whatever. And then they blew up and they become a thing. And now, last year they had their final tour and all kinds of people were there, hundreds of thousands of people. And you think to yourself, man, this was just a crappy little band that talked a lot of trash, no effects. How do they have all these fans now? Well, I mean, that's how it goes. You hang around. Everything's like Survivor. Ever see the show Survivor? It's all like Survivor. You just got to hang around, hang around, hang around. As you hang around, you get more support. You get more likes, you get more money. It all comes to you. That's why it takes a little while to get established on these things. So that's how it goes. Check out those articles. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Check us out. We're going to have our pregame show tomorrow for the NFL and some shorts with our predictions and betting guides. Should be a good time. I am the professor of football science, Aaron Slaughter. And thanks for joining Football Scientific today to check out these roster moves in the NFL before Week 15 games on Sunday. Ton of them, full boat of games. And then also some CFL moves. I'm glad Tiger Cats have Bo Levi Mitchell back. Oh, he's had 2 great years in a row. That's pretty good. So, all right, we're closing the Football Scientific portal for now. We're going to have a prediction thing on TikTok real quick about the college football playoff. Football Scientific's portal is closed.